Well, after the success of my paint your own things that I've been selling, I'm now branching out. I've already got a couple and I'm going to test out two different kits. If you haven't seen that video, then check it out. I'll link it on my other channel because I tell you what, it has been a game changer for me. Every time I make them, I sell out completely. I'm going to try Christmas mold. And it's that one, and I'm also going to try one with the fishy mold. What I'm using this time is still using Resincrete, but they have sent me, so I haven't bought this, they sent me this free. I want to be completely open about this. It's a new formula, and it's working time plus, and apparently it gives you 25 minutes of working time. Now that is going to be quite useful for a lot of things. Some things I don't need the extra working time for, but some things I do. So I'm going to give this a test, and we will see if it works out, and then I will show you what I'm going to do with these. I'm going to need about 300 grams of this powder, and if I've got any more left over, then what I will do is I will use it in something else. Not a problem. So I think I'm going to do 250 rather than 300. So if I've got 250, I'm going to need about 85 grams of water on this. So I'm going to tear that. And it still cures within 30 minutes, apparently, as well. I've got a little bit extra water, but that'll be fine. It's only 2 grams. And now I'm going to give this stir in, making sure I've got no lumps. Don't want any lumps. I don't feel I have to rush as much either to get this stirred in, because it's going to take a lot longer to cure. And I can leave it for a couple of minutes and tap it. Not that you ever have any problems with bubbles with Resincrete, I've found. Now, anybody that's used Resincrete and they've found that in delicate molds, little bits sometimes can break off, I would leave it in your molds longer. I know you can demold it after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but that's not a challenge. That is just a suggestion if you want to use the mold for something else. If you don't, then leave it for a couple of hours and then it's a lot harder. Because like any of these things, they've still got water in them. And as a result, it's still going to be damp. But as soon as it dries out and gets completely hard, they go really, really hard. I'm not sure if you saw my video where I compared this to plaster of Paris. There is such a massive difference. I mean, they're not even similar, apart from the fact they're in powder form. I'm not rushing. All those bubbles that came to the top have now disappeared. I am going to give it a little bit more of a mix, just in case I've missed any. And now it seems fine. And what I'm going to do is fill these up. I think these are going to make great Christmas presents or things to get for kids early that they can paint and then either give to people or hang on the tree. That's what I'm hoping for these ones. Now I've been able to source some really good acrylic paints and little pots and brushes. I do provide them now in the kits because I found that has added a lot of value to them and made them even more popular. And I know a lot of my members are also doing this as well, and have found them selling really well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave this in here for 20 minutes or 25 minutes and see what it's like. And then if it's all good and it is working up to that, I'm going to then pour this last little mold. Well, it's only got 7 minutes to go and then it's had its 25 minutes because I set a timer, and this is still really liquid. And so is everything in my mold. And it worries me a little bit, I have to say, because I'm so used to this being virtually cured by now that I'm now thinking, oh my God, is this just not going to cure? So we'll have a look at it again once the 25 minutes is up, and then we'll leave it and hopefully it'll cured. Fingers crossed. Didn't cost me anything, so that's good. And if it doesn't work, it's not going to cost you anything either, which is always a good thing, isn't it? We've only got a few seconds left to go, and actually this is still workable even after nearly 25 minutes, but I can tell it is starting to thicken up. So I'm absolutely sure it is going to thicken up. He says, no, I'm not. So that's now had the 25 minutes. It is still okay. And I'm about to pour it. Let's move that to there so you can see me pouring it. Let's move this out the way as well. So it's going to add about 27 minutes by the time I pour it. But it is thicker, there's no doubt about it. But it is definitely still workable. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to leave it for 30 minutes and see if it's completely cured, ready to demold. Well, these have had 30 minutes now, and actually they are cured. They feel cured, but like I said, it isn't a challenge that you have to demold them in 30 minutes. You can leave them longer, and I generally do, to ensure that they are a lot drier. Oh, and they've They've really cast well. Look at that. Superb. I was worried. I didn't think it was going to cure. I think these are going to make great sets. And if you want to know, like I said, how I make these sets and how I price them out, then that video I'll link at the end of this one. Check it out. It really is worth watching because you do make some great money. Oh, they are so cute. So they've come out really, really well. Now, these ones I would generally leave longer in the mold because they are a lot more fragile. But for you people, I'm going to see if I can get it out. Better break it. What's the better break it? I know I'm going to break it. Yeah, I broke it. Look, you see, that is why it is so much wiser to leave it in there when you've got thin bits like this for a couple of hours. So I'm not going to use that one, obviously, because I broke it. I only broke that one. And in a couple of hours time or the next day, that is never going to happen because it's not going to have as much water in it. It's going to be completely dried out. And it's the same for the goldfish as well. I will leave those a little bit longer because if not, these fins often break, like, because they're still quite fragile. But if you leave them overnight, then you're going to have no problem with it. So it definitely works. It is a longer cure time. It is a longer pop time. And it still cures up lovely. And I think that, along with that, without it being broken, is going to make a great kit for someone. And I'm sure around the holiday period, they're going to sell really well. So this one's been curing in there for about 5 hours. And like I said, it's not a challenge to demold really quickly. And if you're quite gentle with it, then it is a lot less fragile as well. And you can get things out whole like that. When normally, this is the one where I tried to demold it early. I cracked it straight away. But now it's been in there longer. Look at that. It's much harder. So it's worth waiting around when you've got something that's fragile, at least 4 or 5 hours, and allow it to cure. I think these are going to make great little sets. I'll link it in the description below because I'm sure I'll have a discount code. You might as well take advantage of the discount code as well. And if there's already a discount on Amazon, normally you can still use my discount code on top of that, which is great. Boot that like button, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And be sure to check out the video on how to price these up and how a great seller they are. That's coming up now. Take care. Enjoy your resin. Bye.